This is Christmas Eve 2024. Already 2024 gone. I've been thinking about time, how fast time is moving. In a few days, there'll be 2025. So, as I was thinking about time, I was thinking about time machine or time travel. I was really fascinated by it. I searched a lot of videos about time travel. I have read a lot of books about time travel. It has always fascinated me. Then I came across a quote from Carl Sagan that we already have a time machine. He showed a book that through a book you enter into the mind of the person who wrote it, and that's a time machine through which you can go back into the history. And also, I watched a documentary where they were explaining how time is behaving across the universe. For example, there is time dilation. Time doesn't move equally for everyone. If you move very fast, time moves very slowly. If you move slow or you are standing still, the time is flying away. So, what happens when a person is in one corner of the universe and the other person is in the other corner of the universe or galaxy, for example? If that person is, we are in the, suppose we are in the same timeline, me and that person is in the same timeline, we are standing still, then the time is same for them. Whatever is happening here, there might be something happening there, and it can be, said that these two things are simultaneously occurring. But what if that person starts moving towards me or starts moving away from me? Not even that fast. If that person is in a bicycle and it is moving away from me, then it will create a slice in the time or in the universe where that person will be in the same time as someone from 200 or 400 years after me. If that person is moving towards me, then that person will exist in the same time 400 years ago. So, this is how time is very complex. But there is no way you can come from there to here, right? There is a distance, you cannot travel that distance. We are too, fragile for that. So, how can we build a time machine? Going to the future, practical time machine that will take you to the future. So you hop onto a spacecraft, you go to Andromeda galaxy, and you come back. By the time you come back, if you're traveling at the speed of light or close to it, by the time you come back, there would have been 4 million years spent in this earth. So you travel to future. But there is no way you can reverse that. You can move ahead in time. In near future or far future, there will be a spacecraft that will be traveling very fast. Maybe not at the speed of light, but very fast. That will take people to the future. This is a proven physical thing, quantum physics. It works. There has been experiments on it, and time moves differently according to your speed. Okay? So now we have learned that it is possible to go into the future, but I am going to suggest a way to go into the past. Look, physically you cannot go into the past. We have seen a lot of time machine movies where a person goes back into the time and he's not able to alter anything. So in that way you can just observe. If you want that, just to observe the world and not influence it, I believe I have found a way to create a device that will take you back. For that, we'll have to go back to my first point, what Carl Sagan said. Book. Book is the time machine. So let's scale it. What about video? Video is also time machine, right? You're walking on a beach, somebody records a video, you watch that video, now you are there with him. If that person did not record it, according to quantum physics, it did not happen, right? Because we live in a world where if the observation is not there, it is not actually happening. It has been proven. People got Nobel Prize for this. But a camera has observed it, preserved it, and the person who is watching that camera or watching that video is going back to that place, right? You can see that person, right? Now I'm talking about a normal camera. Now let's take a 360 camera, and that camera is walking just parallel to that person who is walking on the beach. What happens? Now you can see all around that beach, all the surrounding of the beach, as that person could see at that time. That person is not there, but you can live that moment through that 360 camera. Now, if you go into the nitty gritties of what is our reality, what is our reality? We see things from our eyes. That is, the electrical signal generated from the light reflecting on our retina, transmitted to our brain, and then interpreted on our brain. Right? We get touch sensation. We can feel the air. We can smell. We can feel the warmth. We can feel the earth beneath us, or the sand that is moving beneath our feet while we are walking. The all of this is, when it is combined, that gives you a sense of reality. Let me propose a system of virtual reality where all these factors are replicated. For example, there is a humid wind blowing because there is a cooler sort of device that is producing humid wind. It is getting that level of warmth that you feel across when you move in the sand. There is sand in the, there is a simulator of everything on the floor, which when you walk barefoot, it is simulating sand. It can simulate cold, it can simulate rock. I'm talking about what we can do in the future. There might not be a technology for it right now, but it could be done in the future. Two things done. Now you can feel the sand, you can feel the wind, you can get a lot of smells which can be produced using artificial scents, right? Now you are using a VR goggle. We know that VR goggles are in a very advanced stage right now. We are getting VR goggles where 4K per eye screens are used. Although these things are expensive, but these things are expensive right now. Imagine in 10 years time, you create a VR system that is identical to the amount of information we get when we see the world through our eyes. Remember what our eyes, it sees things, light is reflected through the lens of our eye, goes back and hits the retina. There are two types of cells, rods and cones. Cones decipher color, rods decipher how bright it is, how, what is the intensity of light. So the light emitted by that LCD panel or LED panel or AMOLED panel or micro LED panel of that VR glass can simulate the light that is coming from the sun, the light that is getting reflected from the water, the light that is reflected from the sand. So what happens? That VR glass, that VR you are using, now you have wore that VR glass, you are feeling the wind, you can see the same thing that you were seeing. Now the technical part of it is done. How you are going to go to that place that person was walking? If someone records it, you can play that video and you are going there. You went back into time. But let me take it one step further. What if there is a device or there is a system, there is an AI that is recording everything? For example, there are bunch of satellites. Like there are satellites for internet. Elon Musk has sent thousands of satellites for Starlink. Okay, these satellites are giving you internet. What if we send thousands of satellites and those satellites record every movement on Earth in the number of frames that we can see that is realistic, the number of frames that our eye can observe, these many frames, everything that is happening outside in the outside world, like someone is walking. Now two satellites are recording, there is a 3D model of that thing is created, because you can record that person from various angles and it is omnipresent. I'm talking about in future. It is not possible right now, but in future, you know how technology advances. So suppose everything is recorded, not in your home, because it cannot be observed from some source that is there in the satellite, some zoom camera that is there in the satellite. So now what happens? Everything is recorded, and that VR system is recording everything, processing it, and you log in to that VR system using that time machine system, using your very advanced VR glasses. That VR glass is placed in a room where you can walk. Already Disney has created a treadmill, that in that treadmill, it's not a treadmill, you can walk in omnidirection. It simulates real world. So that whole room is covered with those tiles, which are then sometimes turning into pebbles, sometimes turning into sand, giving you that feeling. You are getting the warmth, you are getting the smell, you are getting this directional sound through speakers. And now, what is the culmination of all that? You are there walking with that person. Is that not a time machine? Tell me. If you can pull it off, is that not a time machine? You cannot change anything, but you can literally go there. If you can fool your brain, which if you have played with VR devices, you can. People hit walls, people jump and get scared, they lose sense of reality when they play VR. I've been playing on VR since 2019, long time. I'm like, you have for VR or earlier VR, you had to develop a VR leg. How many hours you have to be in VR so that you don't feel uncomfortable. I have countless thousands of hours on VR. I started with the original Oculus. Fascinating, right? There will be a device in future where you will be able to go at a place, and that place will be behaving exactly like how it happened. Somebody will be walking, somebody is sitting, some people are, I don't know if you can hear what they are saying. We have that level of microphone or not at that time, but you can certainly see, because of the angles and everything and cameras. If we can pull that out, that VR system will be the time machine. Now suppose I am talking about a big scale, like everywhere on earth. Leave that. If we can certainly create that around famous places, right? Suppose the Eiffel Tower. We place cameras at strategic locations which record everything, sound, everything, every angle, and then create that thing. Now you can go back into time. People will be going back to 2025, 2026 in 100 years, and they'll be observing everything. They'll be feeling people walking past talking, because there'll be microphones everywhere and it would be recorded directional sound. Amazing, right? God knows what is a possibility, but that is a time machine, is it not? What do you think about it? Let me know in the comment section. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day.